God of War 6. We know it's coming. We don't know when it's coming, but we know we're probably heading to a brand new place when it comes to Kratos and his story. But the bigger question is, what is the other game? What is the other God of War game that is actually being made simultaneous, parallel, right alongside God of War 6? And then there's always the big question about Atreus. What's his role going to be? Is he going to be a bigger part? Is he going to be a smaller part moving forward? Is he going to be a part at all, or is he just part of God of War history now? You guys have been really divided on that subject. We're going to talk about everything today. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Remember, I read every single comment on every single video, and I read your Atreus comments on the last couple God of War update videos. Today, we're going to go over all the most recent news, leaks, rumors about God of War 6. We're going to try to lock down when we actually could see this game, and any more details we have on the other God of War game. So drop a like as always, guys. Thank you for all the support on the channel as we cruise on our way to 20,000 subscribers. And let's jump in. First things first, we all know that we're leaving Norse mythology. We're probably heading to Egypt. That's what everything is pointing towards, and I'm really excited about that. I love the pantheons, and I specifically want to see the Egyptian god pantheon explored more. But we also know that we're probably getting two God of War games, a spin-off or a side game, could be a 2.5D, we'll talk about that later, and our main God of War 6. And we're going to talk about a big mythology rumor. It's kind of unexpected later on in the video. But first, the elephant in the room. The last two videos we have done, I've dove deep. And my community is completely split, like right down the middle here. Grand Canyon, straight down the middle when it comes to Atreus. The first video we did about God of War 6 and rumors and updates and everything, and I mentioned a possible Atreus spin-off game. You guys went crazy, not in a good way. Most everybody in the comments was like, no, we don't need this. We don't need a spin-off story of him. Focus on Kratos. That is the bread and butter of God of War. We don't need this. He's a side character. That's where he belongs. Okay, I saw that. Then I made another update video about a month and a half ago. And it was literally like night and day. Most people in the comments said, yes, give us an Atreus spin-off game. We would love to see his story, love to see him grow into a young man and a warrior, and see what happens with the God of Mischief, Loki. Spoiler alert, sorry. It would be really cool, especially as a side story or a spin-off to the main God of War 6. I think everybody can agree God of War 6 is going to focus on Kratos, and that's how it has to be. But I don't understand it. Both videos did well. Both videos got 50, 60, 70, 80,000 views, but it was like they both went to two exact opposite audiences. So I ask you guys, do we want an Atreus spinoff? I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I think it would be cool, but I don't know. That's the biggest spinoff rumor that's out there. I mean, he is Kratos' kid, so you let me know in the comments. Now, several insiders have hinted that Sony Santa Monica is developing that smaller scale God of War project right alongside the next main game. That would be a spinoff or a prequel in a different style than we're used to. Jeff Grubb said 2.5D Metroidvania style God of War. That sounds pretty cool. And the other big rumor is that it's set in the Greek era. Okay, all right. And Kratos' brother is actually in there. A side-scrolling God of War focusing on a younger Kratos and his brother training and fighting monsters in Greece. That's cool. That's a huge departure from the cinematic games we get. I think it would be a breath of fresh air. Tom Henderson and Grubb both mentioned hearing a lot of stuff about this project, suggesting it's real and in development. The idea is it's a smaller experimental title, and it would kind of be along the lines of Miles Morales to Spider-Man. A shorter standalone adventure wouldn't take as long to make, wouldn't take as many assets or resources. Now, originally, people thought this spinoff might even get revealed this year. There were rumors that Sony would show it off at the June State of Play. Guess what? Never happened. Crickets. Grubb said internally it's been delayed till 2026, which explains why we haven't seen or heard of it. But don't panic. Santa Monica isn't rushing out a game. They are taking their time here. And if the leak is accurate, well, the young Kratos and his brother game would likely hit before the next huge AAA God of War, which we're going to call God of War 6 until somebody tells us otherwise to tide us over. It would almost be like a bridge story to fill that gap. And then what about Atreus? Officially, there's no credible leak saying Atreus' solo game is confirmed. That notion mainly comes from fan speculation. Some folks, they thought Atreus' ending in Ragnarok, where he goes off to find the missing giants, was teeing up a spinoff. And to be fair, It was. A segment of the community would love to see an Atreus-centric game exploring his magic, his archery, his shape-shifting in new realms, him growing into an adult. Could have a very different tone, more about exploration and mysticism, and less about the dad-level rage that he's dealt with. Maybe something in between a full AAA and a DLC in scope. That would be pretty cool. And then you flesh him out, and then him and Kratos meet back up in maybe God of War 7. Or God of War 6. But judging by the comments, I just don't know which way to go here. There's a lot of people that take it really personal when there is any talk about sidelining Kratos. Many veterans feel Kratos' story isn't done, and Atreus should stay as a supporting character for now, if even that. Santa Monica probably sees the sentiment. In fact, leaks about the 2.5D project being all about Kratos' past imply the studio, it knows where its bread is buttered. I mean, consider me pacified, I guess. I don't think we're going to be saying goodbye to the Ghost of Sparta ever, but I also don't think we're going to be focusing on his kid. Now, let's talk about the next big mainline God of War. God of War 6, the true sequel after Ragnarok. We know Santa Monica is eventually going to give us a full-blown God of War 6. They're literally hiring combat designers experienced with God of War melee combat systems as I make this video. $1 million question is, where and when will Kratos' saga take place, his next? And this is where it gets kind of crazy. First up, of course, Egyptian mythology. Earlier this year, a leak from insider Daniel Rickman, RPK, reported by the Game Post, claimed that Sony is likely working on a new God of War set in Egypt. Apparently, Sony was casting several Middle Eastern actors for an unannounced AAA project where Rickman believes that's God of War exploring the land of pyramids and pharaohs. Okay, fair enough. But, think about that. You've got Kratos versus that pantheon. Ra, Anubis, Horus. I'm 1000% down for that. It's not the most popular pantheon. Obviously, people lean heavy into the Greek pantheon and the Norse pantheon, but the Egyptian pantheon, that could be wild. And let me give you guys a little shameless plug here. I'm actually in the middle of writing an 8-book series, a rapid release series that involves multiple pantheons actually meeting. Yeah, that's right. Your boy is becoming a published author before the end of this year, and next year, that series is going to be released. So if you guys want to check that out, jimmymarkowski.com. I would love to see you guys over there on that journey with me as well. Just a shameless little plug for you. Now, it's not out in left field here at all for Egypt. Corey Balrog, the 2018 game director, revealed that Egypt was another setting they considered before they actually considered Norse mythology. There's even Easter eggs in the God of War 2018 hinting at Egyptian, Japanese, and Celtic mythology. So the seeds, they've been there the whole time. Some fans on Reddit pointed out that Kratos has canonically visited Egypt in a comic book, the Fallen God series, during the gap between God of War 3 and 2018. So that sparked theories to the new game in Egypt could be actually a prequel. Could show what happened on that trip. Maybe a younger Kratos adventure before Atreus is even born. That would spin everything on its head. Others, more like me and a lot of other people, think it's going to be set after Ragnarok with an older, wiser Kratos traveling to a new land because, let's face it, you can't catch a break from deities anywhere, so he should probably try somewhere new. But we do have a conflicting leak alert. Not long after the Egypt rumor, another reputable insider, Tom Henderson, threw a curveball out there. He said that according to his sources, the next game isn't set in Egypt after all, but rather a return to Greece featuring a younger Kratos and focusing on his relationship with his father, Zeus. Okay, sounds confusing at first. Why go back to Greece when we wrapped that up with a bow at the end of God of War 3? Well, it actually lines up with that spin-off prequel idea we talked about. Henderson's info likely referred to a smaller project with young Kratos instead of the main God of War 6 game. So in other words, insiders might have been talking about two different games, a prequel in Greece, the 2.5D we talked about, and then the next big sequel, which could still head to Egypt or a new mythology or pantheon. It's easy to see how the wires got crossed in rumor land there. A lot of people were wondering, but the good news is multiple sources now agree Santa Monica Studio has several unannounced titles in the pipeline. Presumably, one is this Greek spinoff and the other is the main sequel. We might get both. A nostalgic look back at Kratos' origins and a bold new mythological journey straight into the future in Egypt. I'm all for all of it. Now, aside from Egypt, what other mythologies could we do if we didn't go there? Celtic was thrown around. There was a lot of Celtic lore talked in the last game. Japanese, imagine Kratos versus the Shinto gods. That would be a wild one. Even Aztec, even Mayan. But by far, Egyptian is a fan favorite 3 right now. It just fits the series well. And honestly, the Pantheon, it's ripe for Kratos to, let's just say, interact with them in his own loving way like he does. There was people saying the Norse saga is over, but there's so much else to explore. The most obvious being Egyptian. I mean, the pyramids, the statues, if it was somewhat of an open world to a degree, still on rails, but you guys get where I'm going. It's going to be ambitious, but it's going to be great. But one more thing. There have been whispers about a remaster or collection of the original God of War games for PS5. Henderson mentioned he heard rumblings of a remaster of the classic Greek saga as part of a push to celebrate the series' roots. And if that's true, that would drop in to just keep us busy while we wait for the new game. It is a strategy that publishers and developers are really leaning into. Look at Gears of War. Look at, look at all of them. Look at Elder Scrolls. Look at Fallout. Look at Resident Evil. They're all doing it. Give us nostalgic until we get the new title. That's kind of what's been going on. Sony hasn't confirmed it, but I would say keep an eye out for it. It's probably going to happen if it hasn't been officially announced since I make this video. We'll see. I mean, there were 2024, there was a rumor we were getting a God of War announcement, possibly the spin-offs, but it didn't happen. So yeah, wait for that. Now, let's end this with some crazy speculation. We talked about the leaks. We talked about what fans want stuff, but one big question fans debate, when will God of War 6 actually release? Some are bracing themselves for the long wait. Considering Ragnarok dropped in 2022, it's only 2025, and if Santa Monica is indeed juggling multiple projects, we may not see that next game until 2027 or 2028. That's a tentative target. Some people say it could end up as a PS6 launch title. It could. You're right. I don't think the PS6 is that far away, to be honest with you. Might be a stretch, but we'll see. If that spinoff comes next year, which I think it very possibly could, I think that could segue into God of War 6 coming out in holiday of 2027. That's going to be my official guess for now until we see something else. Story setting, I don't even care. If the game goes to Egypt, I mean, whatever. We could have remember the giant marbles from Ragnarok? Some people think Atreus might find a clue among those giants that leads Kratos to Egypt, or even that Atreus himself could encounter Egyptian gods during his separate journey he's doing. Kind of like two character stories together, but not, and then they tie together down the line. I don't know. And if it's a prequel in Egypt, hopefully we get to play as a slightly younger Kratos who's struggling with being a wandering warrior after Greece, and he's settling into, or well, before he settles into Midgard. There's so many things they could do here. It's going to be fun. I really, truly can't wait. But for all the people that were excited about the Atreus spinoff, I don't think it's happening. I'm sorry. I really am confused to how that was split right down the middle. I am ready for new Pantheons, though. I truly, truly am. So let me know what you guys think. I'm excited. I'll give you guys any updates as they come. And once again, really quick, JimmyMarkowski.com. The link is at the top of the description. If you guys want to follow my author journey, I would love to have you over there. We're going to be doing all kinds of stories that I've created. I've been creating for years, and I've just never had an outlet to share. And now I'm going to share them. And I've got one coming before the year's over called Welcome to the Family, which it's really, really unique as a premise too. But yeah, that bigger one, that 8-book series that's being worked on, it's going to take like a year. That is all about mythology and the pantheons. So I would love to see you guys over there. Shoot me an email if you want to say hi over there as well. And I'll see you guys soon.